that there is an additional insertion of 449.5 billion to the unprogrammed appropriations, which originally was set at 281.9 billion. Clearly, there is a huge increase in that the total unprogrammed appropriations ballooned to 731.4 billion. The legislative intent of this prohibition, according to the Constitutional Commission, is to prevent enormous budgetary deficits. How does the bicameral conference committee account for such enormous increase? Is this not a clear contravention of this constitutional provision?
No, Your Honor, because that provision applies the prohibition to increase the budget submitted by the President does not refer to the NEP or the National Expenditure Program submitted by the President, but it refers to the budget of expenditure and financing, or BESF, which is the budget document specified in Section 22 of Article 7 on the Executive Department as the basis for the General Appropriations Act. What I'm saying, Your Honor, is the purpose of that provision is, as you correctly stated, to prevent any budget deficit, any humongous or any very large budget deficit. That's why Congress has to look also at the funding or financing side, not only the expenditure side, like the NEP. Now, since the concept of unprogrammed appropriations is something like on standby, only when funds are available, only when there is an excess collection from revenue, only when new foreign loans are granted, then that is not counted for purposes of determining whether there might be a budget deficit, because it will only come to play when the corresponding funding would come in. That's why it's unprogrammed appropriations, Your Honor.
Well, the Constitution says appropriations do that cover unprogrammed appropriations?
That is correct, Your Honor, but we have to understand the underlying reason for that particular provision. And as I explained earlier, we are referring to the BESF. The total amount of 5.7 trillion, Your Honor, was not changed in the GAA. It's still the same because we are only looking at the obligation side, referring to programmed appropriations and automatic appropriations. The inclusion of the unprogrammed appropriations is there, only on standby. But it does not constitute the obligational, the list of obligations that the government will have to comply as for its operations.
Attorney Colmenares, if you have any refutation, expand that in your memorandum. My time is, I hope you are listening. Since you are the one in your petition that made such allegation, you can expound your refutation as what the Solicitor General said. That concludes my interpellation. Thank you. Thank you, Chief. I will ask additional questions.
Thank you, Your Honors.
Thank you. Paragraph 3 of Section 11 of Republic Act 11223, Universal Health Care Act, says no portion of the reserve fund shall accrue to the national government, any of its agencies or instrumentalities, including government-owned or controlled corporation. How do you now reconcile this clear prohibition with the directive of the Department of Finance under the purported mandate of GAA 2024 to remit the money to the National Treasury?
Your Honor,